Really patriotic before I joined the military, I don't think, but just like knowing what the flag stands for after serving, I have a bigger meaning for it. I joined the military when I was 20 years old, and I was a Navy CB construction battalion. I went to Guam, was my first deployment. It was a humanitarian effort, and deployed to Afghanistan 2012 to 13. When I was deployed, I ran convoys, ran logistics for my battalion. We had detachment sites all over the country, so I traveled pretty much all of Afghanistan and took supplies to our guys. My childhood was good. I mean, my parents were successful, played sports, was good at sports. Anything I played, I was good at. I wanted to be just like my dad, basically. I used to follow my dad around on the job sites. Once I joined the military, especially once I deployed to Afghanistan, I found a really close group of guys, brothers, that would die for me. I never really experienced that before. I was surrounded by 25 guys 24/7 for 9 months. And then coming back to the real world, that was removed. I didn't have those guys anymore. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was suffering from depression, anxiety, suicidal ideations, loneliness, just not knowing up from down. I started drinking before I ever went to the military, and I probably did not drink normally. I'd black out every time I drank, and smoked some weed. Got back from Afghanistan and was really messed up, and I had a friend that let me snort a line of oxycodone, and it made everything feel fine. Felt better than before I deployed. So I wanted to feel that way all the time, so I blew through 10 grand of deployment money. I kept hitting these walls where I would just run out of money, burn every bridge I had to get money, and would go detox or try and detox myself. I didn't want to stay on that stuff. I needed to find a treatment center. I went to 2 or 3 prior to Treehouse. One was the military. The Navy put me in a treatment center before I got separated. And then the second one I went to was in Maryland. It was just the run-of-the-mill treatment center. And that treatment center, everyone kind of just kept to themselves, did their time and left. Just going from group to group, sitting all day, no activity. It wasn't an impact, it didn't make an impact on me. So I went back home, West Virginia, and moved back in with a chick. Went back to work, relapsed within a week. I hit another wall. Couldn't get more money, burned all the bridges. Went into the hospital, the VA, and they put me on Suboxone. Couldn't stay sober any other way, and they said this was the way to do it. So I was on Suboxone for almost 3 years. At first, I thought it was like the miracle drug. It made me pretty peppy. I wasn't doing dope anymore. I could go to work every day. Maintain a normal life. It started really messing with my head. I was also on a cocktail of psych meds too, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, lithium, all kinds of stuff, and I wanted to be done with it. I felt like I was trapped. like my head, I was just like living in hell, basically. The pain ended up growing great enough for me to try and kill myself a couple times. I ran the exhaust into my truck, parked out in the woods, and was in there, was unconscious, and my dad found me. He broke my window, pulled me out of the car. I remember being really angry when I like came to. I was still alive. I just didn't want to try anymore. Didn't want to do it anymore. My dad took me home, and I didn't want to go to the hospital. They put a petition in for me to get committed to a psych ward. The sheriffs came and picked me up. I got 5150'd, and I needed to find a treatment center. I talked to my dad on the phone when I was in the hospital, and he said that they found a treatment center where the websites of guys lifting weights and they're like riding boats in the ocean. I was like, all right, let's do it. Sign me up. I was just like so self-defeated with everything, and I had no confidence in myself. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to do this. So I went to detox, and I came to Treehouse. The level of brotherhood I like found here at Treehouse is deeper than what I found in combat. I started feeling like connected to a team pretty much right as soon as I came in. There was another combat veteran on my team when I first came in, and he kind of wrapped me up, and very open and talked about everything right off the get-go. Talking with guys and like crying with guys, and just being like 100% transparent with them, like grew these connections that I've never had in my life. I was like incapable of looking at like how far I had been coming, and my therapist basically broke it down to me how far I had already come, and this was like I just like broke down crying, like happy tears. Like, I don't think I ever really cried from being happy, and just like pride that I was actually doing it. And even if it seemed like dumb or like pointless, I did it anyway. And I got results. Was overcoming my past. I was talking about things that hard to talk about, deployment related things. Didn't want to kill myself anymore. You know, depression and anxiety are a thing of the past. Yeah, I get anxious now, but I know how to like deal with that anxiety. I don't go down the rabbit hole with it and let it run my life. I never thought it was going to be possible for me to be off medications or to be healthy ever again. So to be doing, like, to overcome all this stuff without any medications is pretty amazing.
Why are you making this video? What's it for?
Yeah, so I just like wanted to do this because like it is possible to live a happy, healthy life without medications or self-medicating or thinking about killing yourself every day. You know, I lived that life, and it's like not a life to live. Like, this is possible. Like, we don't, as like veterans, we don't hear about enough success stories, and I just wanted to like say that it's doable if you put the work in. I have guys that keep me accountable and know everything about me. I mean, absolutely everything. You know, one thing with like the guys, my brothers that I served with, was like I couldn't be vulnerable or cry in front of them, and I feel like crying and being vulnerable with men like creates just like an unmatched level of connection and brotherhood. It's pretty crazy.